This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Well, it's the ebbing months and weeks of 2017 and of November. In this week's episode, we continue to see the unfolding of the Asian century over this 21st 100 years of mankind and history. And, well, we will begin with the happy lives of Chinese and Filipinos, China and the Philippines. And we'll first visit a Filipino now working as a journalist in China, a radio journalist. Imagine that, a Filipino working in China and has lived there, made it his home, and married a Chinese wife. So this is Rhio Zablan, and we borrowed from CGTN their interview of Mr. Rhio Zablan, our compatriot, now living in Beijing with his family, with a Chinese Filipino daughter, and he is teaching Filipino martial arts there as a part-time activity while he works as a full-time journalist with China Radio International. We thank CGTN for this footage. We wanted to share this with the millions of Filipinos who may not be able to access CGTN. So let's listen to Rhio Zablan. And I'll just give a little background. Rhio Zablan has been in China for 7 years now, working as a radio journalist. Many would think he moved for a career advancement, but he said he moved mostly for love. Zablan first came to China in 2001 on an official tour for work, and during that time he met a girl. They immediately hit it off, and after a year of texting to maintain a long-distance relationship, quote, she is now my wife, and we have a beautiful baby daughter together. For Zablan, Beijing is now home, but even after 7 years, she still finds it interesting with how people interact. He always finds the cuisine exciting. However, quote, the Philippines is home where I feel 100% myself, unquote. To ease the waves of homesickness, Zablan began teaching Filipino martial arts during his free time. Along with his good friend, Ivan Frank M. Olea, who is the minister and consul of the Philippine Embassy in Beijing. Frank provides us some materials also very frequently. Zablan co-founded the world original Theovil's Balintawak Arnis Group Blue System or WATBAG. He says the goal of the organization is to strengthen friendship and deepen cultural understanding between Filipinos and the Chinese people. So let's watch this interview with Rhio.
Don't ask how many years.
Rhio Zablan met a girl during his visit to China in 2009. He went back to the Philippines, but they continued to talk every single day.
And after 1 year, I thought, I like this girl. So if I don't go to China, I think nothing will happen to us. So what I did was I quit my job to come to China. After another year, the girl, my girlfriend, she's my wife now.
Would you say you moved for love?
Yes, that's the primary reason.
He has been in China for 7 years now, working as a journalist. He has fully immersed himself in society here and found his home away from home. Rhio has made sure his child speaks not only Chinese and English, but also Tagalog, the official language of the Philippines. Rhio takes his family back to his homeland regularly, but sometimes the wave of homesickness still hits the heart. To preserve that heritage, Rhio spends his weekends sharing his passion Filipino martial arts, with the Chinese community.
Well, martial arts is like my lifestyle. I started doing martial arts when I was 16 years old. The way I teach here is because I want to strengthen friendship, cultural understanding between Filipinos and Chinese through Filipino martial arts. If I will describe Filipino martial arts, it is the way of showing love and preserve life.
我现在已经跟里奥有差不多学了1年多的时间了。
I've been practicing for a bit over a year now, and I visited the Philippines with Rhio to better understand the culture and its origins. I think the Filipinos are very friendly, and they are quite similar to the Chinese. They also value traditions and wish to preserve them. For me, this is a way for self-defense and exercise.
刚开始那个老师在这教课之前，大家都
Most people only know that boxing is really popular in the Philippines because of Manny Pacquiao, their national hero. But through Rio's classes, students can learn about an unknown side of the Philippines, an art that has been passed down from generation to generation.
Rhio says even after 7 years, he still finds every day very exciting. He believes that through his acts of spreading Filipino culture, people from the two nations could understand each other better and together combat problems both nations face. Rhio believes the top issues the countries can work together on are maintaining regional peace through combating terrorism and cracking down on drug abuse, which are both on the top of the agenda for the two nations' leaders. Grace Xiao, CGTN, Beijing.
Okay, ang galing ni Rhio Zablan, ang galing ng Pinoy, ang galing ng Pinoy at mga Chino, ang galing ng Asia. And let's move on to the visit of our table tennis players, paddlers, Pinoy paddlers visiting Beijing. We will share interviews with the third year of the ping pong diplomacy held between the Philippines and China. The event is nothing but the 2017 friendly exchange activity between and jointly sponsored by the Capital University Physical Education and Sports, COOAC, School of Competitive Sports and Federation of Filipino-Chinese Associations of the Philippines. The group consisted of champions of the 2017 Uni-Orient Cup. 23 young paddlers and 12 coaches stayed for 5 days in Beijing for a trip to Chinese players from table tennis from COOAC. UAAP 2017 MVP in table tennis is John Russell Misal of the Philippines in friendly ping pong games. In the interview she shared, because of this game, she became competitive. His father taught him to play table tennis, and now after finishing his National Sports Science degree at National University, he also wants to become a coach in the country's young paddlers. The ping pong is also for differently abled athletes. The Abi Nuevo varsity player of Sambeda is also deaf. He showed no obstacle to becoming a great ping pong player to prove the award as the 2017 NCAA Women's Division MVP. She is currently Pinay with the world's highest ranked table tennis player in number 16. His coach, or her coach, June Steve de Guzman, is hoping Abby's move to Beijing will be a morale and skills booster for a deaf ping pong player. Okay, so those are our two items, and thank you China Radio International for the report on Pinoy ping pong players visiting Beijing and playing with Chinese counterparts. So next is our news and views, and we'll take this break.